Hi everyone. This is question 15 from Unit 4. Essentially this is just a straight up using algebra to solve the question. So in this case, instead of plugging in the value for x, we're going to plug in for y. So first, let's look at this question. You run a regression analysis on a data that has a sample size of 30. You obtain this equation. So this part's important right there. That's what we're going to be using. With a correlation coefficient of this and a significance, we can ignore that information. That's irrelevant. And you want to predict the value on average for the explanatory value that will give you a value of 190 in the response. The 190 in the response variable means you're going to plug that number in for y. And then we have to solve for x. So there's two ways to do this. So over here, I have a couple steps. We can use good old tried and true algebra, or you can use technology, since algebra for this class is not required. So the first step, let's use algebra. So if you want to skip the algebra part, you can skip ahead and look at the technology piece. So let's look at the first step. First step is substitute the response variable y. So we're going to substitute in whatever value they give us in the question. In this case, it's 190. So we're going to substitute that in for y, and you can see the new equation with the y value looks like this. Now I know it looks a little awkward here with the plus negative. What the program's trying to show us is that we're actually subtracting 9.368 in the equation, but it's writing it as plus negative, which is fine. Okay, to start off with algebra, remember you want to get x by itself, so the first thing that has to be removed is doing PEMDAS in reverse, and so we have to add or subtract the inverse. To do that, we're going to add 9.6 to both sides. And by doing this, we add it to this side. You can see a negative plus a positive should get you 0. And we're left with 199.368 equals the 2.124x. Alright, since the 2.124 is multiplying x, again we need to do the inverse, which is division. So we're going to divide by 2.124 on both sides of the equal sign. So what I do to the left side, I have to do to the right side to maintain equality. And when I do that, I'm going to use a calculator at this step to do this. So let me copy and paste this. So this step right here, copy. Alright, so I'm going to come over here to Google, and I'm just going to paste this in. And you see what my answer is, 93.864. And that's what I get right here. So that's what I got from plugging it into the calculator. But then the question says, make sure your answer is accurate to one decimal place. So this 8 gets bumped up to a 9 because the number behind it is 5 or greater. Alright. Phew, that's a lot of algebra. Now let's try the other alternative, which is the Wolfram Alpha calculator, or online algebraic manipulator. So we start the same way. So we need to have the y value replaced with the response variable. So we put that in here with the 190. So then the next step is we go to the website, wolframalpha.com, and inside the little search bar, or whatever you want to call it, we're going to type that in directly right here. We're going to say solve 190 equals. So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to do Control C. I mean, you could just type it into Wolfram Alpha since you don't have that typed in. And I'm going to paste here. So you could just type this in exactly as it is and hit equals. Alright, it wants you to log in to do step by step, but we don't necessarily need to see that. The only thing that's a little bit weird is it gives our answer as an exact answer. 5,538 divided by 59. So what we want is to click this approximate button so we can get the decimal. And if I click that, I also see you get the approximation of 93.864, which is exactly what I got from my answer above with algebra and using a calculator. And so now I got to round it to one decimal place and I get the same answer, 93.9. So in your answer blank on your homework, just type in 93.9. And that will be your answer for this question. So those are two steps to do this question. One, good old-fashioned algebra, and the other one using a technology website. I hope that helps. Good luck.